The year is 1950. America, a nation basking in post-war triumph, finds itself on the precipice of a new conflict. It is a war unlike any other, fought not on battlefields but in the shadows. A war of ideology, of espionage, of fear. The enemy? The Soviet Union. The weapon? Suspicion. The radio crackles to life. News bulletins report on communist expansion, nuclear tests, and suspected spies lurking within the very fabric of American society. The words Red Scare are whispered in hushed tones, carrying with them the weight of paranoia and distrust. Families gather around their radios, their faces etched with worry, their minds racing with unsettling questions. Senator Joseph McCarthy, a man with a booming voice and a penchant for sensationalism, emerges as a central figure in this new era of fear. His accusations, often unsubstantiated, fuel the flames of suspicion, leading to investigations, blacklists, and a pervasive sense of unease that seeps into every corner of American life. No one is above suspicion. Neighbors eye each other warily, friendships are tested. The American dream, once a beacon of hope, now flickers with uncertainty. In this climate of fear and distrust, a young couple from New York City will find themselves at the center of a storm that will captivate the nation and test the very principles of justice and freedom. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, a seemingly ordinary couple from New York City's Lower East Side, become forever etched in the annals of history. Their faces, plastered across newspapers nationwide, are frozen in time expressions, a mixture of defiance and despair. Their story unfolds against the backdrop of their modest apartment building, a stark contrast to the high-stakes world of espionage they are accused of inhabiting. Their lives, once filled with the everyday routines of work, family, and community, are thrust into the unforgiving glare of the national spotlight. Courtroom sketches capture the intensity of their trial, their images recreated in hurried strokes of charcoal and chalk. The weight of the accusations against them, the gravity of the charges are palpable in every line, every shadow. Whispers of atomic secrets and betrayals of unimaginable proportions fill the air. Their names, once unknown outside their close-knit community, become synonymous with betrayal, with treason, with the very real fear that gripped a nation teetering on the brink. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, the couple from the Lower East Side, become symbols of a Cold War narrative, their fate intertwined with the anxieties of a generation. The knock on the door came late at night. FBI agents, their faces hardened by years of chasing shadows, stood on the Rosenbergs' doorstep, warrants in hand. The charges were shocking, the accusations almost too incredible to believe. Julius Rosenberg, a seemingly unremarkable electrical engineer, was accused of being a key player in a Soviet spy ring. Ethel, his wife, a devoted mother to their two young sons, was accused of being his accomplice. The news spread like wildfire, engulfing the Rosenbergs and their families in a maelstrom of suspicion and disbelief. Neighbors, once friendly and familiar, now looked upon them with fear and suspicion. The clang of the jail cell door shut behind them. The Rosenbergs, once a loving couple with dreams and aspirations, were now prisoners, their lives irrevocably altered. Their once familiar world, their routines, their hopes for the future, all vanished in an instant. Their sons, too young to comprehend the gravity of the situation, were left to grapple with the sudden absence of their parents, their innocent faces reflecting the fear and uncertainty that had become a haunting presence in their young lives. The hammer of justice had fallen, and the Rosenbergs found themselves trapped in a web of accusations, their fate hanging precariously in the balance. Section 4. Whispers of Atomic Secrets, the Trial. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation. Reporters, lawyers, and spectators packed the benches, eager to witness a trial that had captivated the nation. The air crackled with tension, every cough, every rustle of paper amplified in the hushed chamber. The prosecution's case hinged on the testimony of David Greenglass, Ethel Rosenberg's own brother. Greenglass, a former Army machinist at Los Alamos, admitted to passing atomic secrets to the Soviets and implicated his sister and brother-in-law in the conspiracy. The Rosenbergs, maintaining their innocence throughout, insisted they were victims of a witch hunt, targeted for their political beliefs. Their lawyer argued that the government, desperate to find scapegoats for Soviet advancements in nuclear technology, had fabricated evidence and coerced witnesses. Days turned into weeks as the trial unfolded, a tense drama playing out on the world stage. The jury, tasked with deciding the fate of the Rosenbergs, deliberated for days, their faces etched with the weight of their responsibility. The world held its breath, awaiting their verdict. Section 5. The verdict, a nation divided. Guilty. The word, heavy with finality, echoed through the stunned courtroom. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, the couple accused of conspiracy to commit espionage, were found guilty. The verdict, delivered after days of agonizing deliberation, sent shockwaves through the nation and ignited a firestorm of controversy. Outside the courthouse, a nation deeply divided clashed. Supporters of the Rosenbergs, convinced of their innocence, denounced the trial as a miscarriage of justice, a chilling example of Cold War hysteria run amok. Protests erupted in cities across the country, demanding their release. Others, however, hailed the verdict as a victory for national security, a necessary response to the very real threat posed by Soviet espionage. They argued that the Rosenbergs, driven by their communist ideology, had betrayed their country and deserved the harshest punishment. Newspapers, radio broadcasts, and dinner table conversations were dominated by the Rosenberg case. The nation, already on edge, found itself further divided, grappling with questions of guilt, innocence, and the very nature of justice in a world on the brink of nuclear annihilation.